Greetings, mortals! It is I, Remortis, and today we're going to be talking about my newest favorite vampire game, Dune Awakening, where you have to avoid sunlight.
Stick to the shadows, Offworlder. The heat of the sun is deadly to the unprepared.
Let me get in the fucking shadows real quick, just for a second.
Please, it's fucking hot. God, it's so hot.
Drink people's blood.
You need a consistent source of water, and the best source out here is blood. Extract it, store it, refine it, and drink it.
Wake up from a ton of naps. And oh, I'm just kidding. It is a damn fantastic game, and boy was I surprised about it. I initially came into this game thinking that it was just going to be another janky survival game, as I've played Conan Exiles before, which I thought this is just going to be fun, Conan Exiles with a splash of Dune paint all over it. Well, I have played plenty of survival games in my past. It's one of my favorite genres, and I am thoroughly surprised at just how damn fun this game is. With all of its elements and mechanics in the game, I'm just incredibly surprised at just how good this is as a baseline. This game is just going to get better as we go on. But before we go on to the rant about how much I love this damn game, stick around or skip to the end, and you can see a lovely Harkonen base tour. Alright, let's get into this review, quote unquote. Just about every aspect of the game I really enjoy. I actually am one of the few who really enjoy the combat. Sure, it's not the best, but it's damn good for a survival game. And I'm sure it's just going to get better. The class system's pretty cool how you can kind of mix and match. Granted, there's really only 2 or 3 builds that most people are running. I was thinking about doing a video covering these builds, but simply put, it's either you mix Mentat with Trooper and be a range build, or you mix Bene Gesserit with Swordmaster and do a melee build. I'm sure there's some mix and match here and there, but at this time, I don't feel like there's really a big necessary need for a build video because all the PvP at endgame is mostly aerial anyways. So if they add another PvP area, hopefully they do a boots on the ground type thing so that way these builds actually matter. So if you just play whatever you really like, especially since you can just mix and match as you please, just about everybody and their mother will at least take the Trooper skill, the grappling hook, the Shiga wire, or whatever it's called, because it is so much fun to use, especially when you're exploring and traveling, especially vertically. Holy crap, it's so useful. And the funny thing is like that grappling hook actually has applications in combat too. You can like kind of pull your enemies and stagger them. It's kind of funny. But honestly, the main reason I'm making this video is just because I've just been really enjoying this damn game. And unfortunately, I'll be gone for about a month or so in the very near future. I don't know when that's going to begin, but hopefully not too soon because I just want to keep playing this damn game. But until then, I just wanted to, kind of ramble on about the game a little bit. And hopefully you might share the same opinions I do. And if you don't, by all means, let me know what you think down in the comments. Or perhaps you're on the fence about the game and you might have plenty of questions. And again, you feel free to ask away down in the comments.
That's funny.
So as I mentioned, I've played over 160 hours of the game since release. And dear God, that's a lot of hours of playtime in such a little time since it released. But I can explain, I swear. But anyhow, this game is just phenomenal. I love almost every aspect of it. I do have a few gripes though, and I guess I should go over those real quick. But I'm not too concerned about them. Like, yeah, there's annoyances mostly, or things I'd like to see in the future, but it's nothing game-breaking for me. Because I know for a fact that down the road it'll get changed based on how Funcom handled Conan Exiles. So my main gripe with the game is the lack of enemy variety. But that's mostly because, Dune is humans and such, but I would just like the factions to be a little more distinct because it just feels like I'm doing the same fight over and over. 2 swordsmen, a Gatling gun or a flamer, and then, a couple snipers or people with just submachine guns. I feel like I'm fighting that same fight no matter what faction I'm fighting, no matter what part of the map. So I would like to see some of the factions employ different tactics or something like that to make it really cool because there are some really cool areas in the game, especially Misa Tyrell, if you guys have been there yet. I don't want to spoil anything yet, but I thought that was a really fucking cool area, especially when I noticed what was above it. That thing that's causing all the electricity. When you get to that area, you know what I'm talking about because you'll see the electricity. Make sure you look up and actually see what the hell that is that's making that electricity, because man, that is so fucking cool. makes me really want to read the books because I have not done that yet, but I will probably do that when I'm gone for a month or so because, yeah, anyways. Another thing that drives me up the wall is the HUD for your copter. Once you finally get it, you'll realize that the HUD within the cockpit is tan in a desert, making it very difficult to see where your crosshair is, so that way you can actually fly your copter properly, at least the most efficiently, so that you have the best glide possible without having to ascend or descend too quickly. Other than that, though, there aren't really too many things that I really complain about. At least, I don't think so. Maybe I should talk to my friends. I'm sure they'll say something. But I think the thing I would like to really see in the future, which again I'm sure they'll add, is other maps. If you look on the world map, though, it's pretty apparent that they're going to be adding other locations on the world map, so I'm not too worried about that. I would like to see different ways to engage in PvP, because I love PvP in survival games, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing, why we don't have it right now in the Haga Basin, which is the main map that we play on Dune. Because, yeah, it's nice and relieving knowing that your base won't be raided when you're offline. But at the same time, PvE toxicity is a whole different breed of toxicity when it comes to survival games, because now that person can block off something and there's nothing you can do to punish them for it or make them pay back for them being a jerk or stealing loot or something like that. Sure, there are those little PvP areas scattered throughout the main Haga Basin, but I don't think I've really ever seen anybody at any of those points. Perhaps it's because I went too fast in my progression, which is probably very true, but I digress. As for PvP on ground, I haven't had too much experience with it because, again, most of it's aerial, and then if you do manage to knock their ship out and they get out of the ship, you can just ram your plane into them and squash them. There are a few times I did encounter PvP on the ground. And funny enough, one of my favorite kills I had on the ground was actually in one of those big downed PvP ships, although it was in the deep desert, so really everything's big PvP zone. But anyways, I heard somebody in the last room fighting the last group of enemies before you get the treasure. And they didn't hear me coming up on them, and I got to just sneak into the room and I just kind of watched them do it. And just as they finished, I used a hunter-killer drone and I killed them, looted the stuff, and I got all the rest of the loot out of the dungeon and got out of there before they returned. So it felt really cool and it was awesome using the hunter-killer drone, but sadly I didn't get a recording of that. I really wish there was, but I really do wish that there was a few other ways to really engage in ground PvP. But then I noticed something while I was harvesting spice in one of the giant spice field craters, is that while they're out there, nobody is using their shield, meaning that if you were to land on like the edge of these craters, you could potentially snipe people quite easily, since again they don't have their shields active. So perhaps that could be an interesting thing you do with the firing squad. Just set up a bunch of snipers and, well, have at it. But either way, I am thoroughly enjoying my time with Dune, and I am just eagerly awaiting to see what they add next. The game can only go up from here, and I'm going to be here for quite a while. The only downside that I have with the game is just I don't know what kind of content I want to create for this. Because there aren't really enough stuff for me to feel like I need to make build guides, and I don't want to just do a bunch of tips and stuff like that as well, because it's just so much bloat on YouTube right now with that, and I don't want to add to that. Maybe I do advanced tips, who knows. Just let me know what you guys would like to see in the comments. Otherwise, I think when I get back from my trip, I will probably start a new character and maybe just stream a run for you guys. Honestly, I should have been streaming this whole time, but because of the uncertainty of my current schedule and all that jazz, I didn't want to really risk anything. Like, I didn't want to get you guys invested in the stream only for me to have to leave like partway through it. So I want to wait until my schedule's a little more solid for that. But I was thinking about just doing a stream with that, or maybe some kind of story videos, maybe some RP videos, who knows. I don't really know what you guys want to see. Perhaps building videos, because I really like the building in this game. Speaking of, if you guys stick around, I will go ahead and have a base tour at the end of this video as well. Mostly for me, because I want to remember how I made the base. Yeah, I know we can use the gun to save the whole blueprint and all that stuff, but with the way that's set up, it would be really annoying to try to copy the blueprint and then try to get the right exact pixel perfect stuff on the hill that I'm on. But either way, you'll see how massive my base is, and just kind of want to show off some of the stuff there because I think it looks really nice. Many of you folks on my server keep stopping by, think it was an NPC base and such. So, anyways, I digress. But yeah, long story short, I really love Dune. I was completely blown away about how much I love this damn game, and I'm probably going to be playing this for quite some time. It's probably going to be my main game for a while, or at least until I get bored. But I'm 168 hours in, and well, I'm still going hard. Me and my friends, we managed to finish making a carrier, and luckily we did find out it does carry a buggy, so that's pretty cool. And we're almost to the point where we can make a sandcrawler. But it's mostly just me and a few other handful of friends, and the rest of them, you know, trying to get their schedules aligned. So we'll see how much me and my friends stick around. At least I know I will, but I digress. I could keep rambling on and on about the damn game. I could go into more specific stuff too. If you guys would like to see that, please let me know. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Go ahead and enjoy the base tour for now. Oh, before I go, for those of you who'd like to play along with me, I am on the Sandtide server at Siege Ramal, and I'm playing along with my buddy Italian Spartacus and the guild that he created. So, but a bit of my community and a lot of his community are all playing together. We currently have a 32 out of 32 guild for Atreides. However, my character is Harkonen, so I'm probably going to branch off and we're going to make a Harkonnen sister guild. Name is still up in the air. They have some ideas, but we'll see what happens in the weeks / months to come. All right, for reals you now. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Farewell for now.